Hey everybody, today we're checking out the 2023 Chevy Colorado. Let's take a look. Gotta say, I love the design of these new trucks. The grille, hood, side panels, everything about this truck looks tough. I really like that they've added the integrated step in the bumper right here. Most importantly, take a look at the shock location. The shock mounts have been relocated. This shows us that GM's been listening. Now the Colorado has 5 trim models. They have Work Truck, LT, the all-new Trail Boss, and they're bringing back, of course, the Z71 and the ZR2. The Trail Boss looks great, but I do wish that it had a black painted bumper instead of this black plastic bumper here. But it still looks really good. Now the Trail Boss and the ZR2 have a wider chassis, which the Work Truck, LT, and Z71 do not share. They don't say how much wider the chassis is, but let's take a look and see if we can tell the difference. Alright, take a quick look at the passenger side of the Z71. Now look at the passenger of the ZR2. If you look close, the fenders on the ZR2 look just a little wider, but the wheels on the Z71 are set into the fender just a little bit more. That could be because of tire size or wheel offset. I'm curious to see the numbers though. I'm really excited to see the Trail Boss trim level added to the Colorado. Basically, if you're looking for a better looking LT with a 2-inch factory lift and better styling, I would go with the Trail Boss. Now let's check out the interior. From what I see here, it's just like I said before, it looks like an LT trim level. It looks like cloth seats, very basic interior, but you do get the 11.3-inch screen. Alright, now let's take a look at the Z71 and tell me down in the comments what you thought about the Trail Boss. Immediately it looks a little more upscale. You get the painted front bumpers like I was talking before, and you get factory LED lights. Again, the numbers aren't out yet, but you do not get the wider chassis with the Z71. Now let's talk about the new chassis real quick. It's also supposed to be 3 inches longer. Now why would you want a 3-inch longer chassis? It's got its ups and downs. You're not going to have the tight turning radius that you would off-road, but they did upgrade the towing capacity. So with an upgraded towing capacity, you would want a longer wheelbase to make it a little more stable. With the new engine choice and chassis, it brings it to a best-in-class max towing of 7,700 pounds. Alright, speaking of the new engine, the 2.7 4-cylinder turbo motor. The Colorado's saying goodbye to the old 4-cylinder, the 3.6-liter V6, and the 2.8 turbo diesel. I know, I've heard it all. A lot of people are upset about the 2.8 turbo diesel going out. That being said, I am excited about this 2.7-liter turbo 4-cylinder. I've driven a Silverado with a 2.7 engine in it, and I was impressed. And that was before they upgraded the engine. Now this little 4-banger engine is pushing out 310 horsepower and 430 foot-pounds of torque. That's more horsepower than the outgoing 3.6 V6 and more torque than the outgoing 2.8-liter turbo diesel. Let's check out some of the competition. Here's the new Ranger. Their current off-road beast is the Tremor with 9.7 inches of ground clearance. Full specs on the Ranger Raptor aren't out yet, so we can't really tell the ground clearance, but it's expected to have a 3-liter V6 with 392 horsepower and 430 foot-pounds of torque. But right now that's not official, so the official numbers are 270 horsepower and 310 foot-pounds of torque. That brings us to the Turd Pro. With this truck, you've got arguably cheap-looking interior, poor seating position, and a really weak motor. In the Tacoma, the best engine option you have is the 3.5 V6 with 278 horsepower and 265 foot-pounds of torque. Good luck putting 35s on that. It'd be like putting 35s on my old 1998 Wrangler. You'd be pushing yourself up a hill. That brings us to the new Honda Ridgeline. The Ridgeline has all the amenities a lady could want. It's got heated and ventilated seats and great fuel mileage. It also has easy to reach and convenient controls right on the steering wheel. It also has a hands-free power tailgate, so your kids can help you lift things into the back until you get your man card back. All right, back to the Colorado. All right, as you can see here, like I said before, the Z71 interior looks a little more upscale from the Trail Boss. I've seen people mention online that there was no mention of a heated steering wheel or ventilated seats. You can lay that to rest because if you look real close on the steering wheel, there is a heated steering wheel button and there are buttons for ventilated seats. Plus you can see the perforation in the seats. I really like how GM really addressed some of the small things that everyone was complaining about. Phone charger was definitely one I heard a lot of complaints about. Also the shifter. The shifter was wider so it would slap your leg when you're bouncing around off-road. The shifter was moved over to the right side of the column, so that's no longer an issue. The seats have side bolstering, the other ones did not. It looks like the Z71s will have this red stitching. I'm not sure if it comes in another color. This is the only one that they've shown so far. All right, here we are with the ZR2. It looks like it'll have an additional Desert Boss package, which comes with this bull bar up front and the sport bar in the back with a light. I do like the look of this front bull bar, but I really think it's dumb that they didn't lower it just about another inch so that camera up front is still useful. If you have 360-degree HD surround view and then you put a bar right in front of it, it just doesn't make any sense, especially coming from the factory. The package also comes with 17-inch beadlock capable wheels. That's a huge upgrade from the last generation's wheels. I'm really not sure what I like more, the blue or this tan color. So one would think, because this Desert Boss comes with a stock 33, that with a leveling kit you could squeeze a 35 in there. Now here's my thoughts on which model you should go for. Work truck is obvious, get it if you're just using it as a work truck. Go with an LT if you're looking for a few more creature comforts. Go with the Z71 if you're looking for a lot of the creature comforts, but you do want to do some off-roading and you want a little capability. If you want the wider stance and a more aggressive look, then go with the Trail Boss, especially if you're planning on lifting it up and you're putting like a 6-inch lift and some bigger tires on it. And finally, go with the ZR2 if you're all about off-roading. Here's the ZR2 Interior. From what I'm reading, it looks like all the ZR2s have this bright yellow stitching. Right here you can see the button for the ventilated seats. The ZR2 also has 5 selectable drive modes, with an exclusive Baja mode for high-speed loose sand. Terrain mode shows you pitch and roll, while overlanding shows you elevation, direction, and GPS coordinates. If you're expecting a 10-speed transmission, you're gonna have to wait a little longer. They decided to go with the second generation of their 8-speed transmission. My least favorite option on the truck definitely is the sunroof. The sunroof for me, I'm a tall guy, it always cuts down on headroom and I usually need that headroom. So tell me what you think down in the comments. Are you gonna switch from your 2nd gen to this new 3rd gen, or are you gonna wait a while? And how do you feel about the engine options? I'm actually excited about this. I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully it's as good as I think it will be.